are coming into Budapest expecting to use as a weapon. TYLOO signing up for this fight. Very curious game on our hands, I think, with Mirage. I think this is going to be like a gloves-off type situation. Paravision said that the system over on the side of TYLOO is something that they're lacking, that they have strong individuals. Let's see if those individuals can come out swinging on Mirage, shall we?
It's kind of cut and dry. They just said, yeah, they're basically not as good of a team, and that's just honest analysis. That is just a fact. Now, we're always excited to see TYLOO play in a stage like this. I think G is a LAN player. He's somebody who, you know, James also a LAN player, but he doesn't have a LAN personality at all. He's just always the same. He's very even throughout the day. But G, he like lives for these experiences with the most pressure and the most, to create the most entertainment possible. He also brings a lot of X factor in his plays.
Incendiary onto the Palace. Execute comes out for Paravision in the pistol. And Mozia's got the first blood. Stalls for a second, but the trades come out. G comes in with his, playing off triple for man advantage. It's AW picking up a couple of kills in the pistol already. What's left of TYLOO was over here towards Ticket. AW could just be piecing together a quad, but James kind of lets him off the leash, lets him take some contact, and timing could work out for Mercury. Berettas have slipped up, and AW, you'd think, gets caught off guard by this. But I love the way he just keeps coming in and out of this battle, then peels away alongside Jame. And they're going to force Mercury's hand. Either he comes out to confirm they're still over there, or Jane could be sprinting to the other side of the map in a second. Yeah,
he's actually walked out towards Connector instead of going through CT. This is kind of a crazy situation because it's not even faster than the CT can make it over towards B. Mercury's just assuming they're going to re-aggress, which is just not the case, obviously, and now they have a Halls plant. So this works out very well for Paravision. The only thing that could have worked for Mercury was getting there first.
James was willing to be the guy who had to clutch this. You saw the way he sat back with bomb on ramp, right? Really wanted AW to go confirm things.
No kit here for Mercury, no smoke.
James was playing with options, and it's a very tough retake here for Mercury. Oh, instantly executed. Huge multi-kill moment for AW. A supportive element of this Paravision core, right? Somebody who at times was looking kind of flat in certain halves, but I thought showed some of the more resilience. Like, he bounced back in second halves quite convincingly. And I remember specifically on Ancient, some of those really high pressure B executes when all he'd have was an SMG with people coming from all directions. That's where, for me, AW was making his bread.
I'm still, myself, trying to decide who the core is, I guess, in terms of, because all their games before the major, it's just none of the teams were notable like they were here.
Yeah, they'd never played a top 20 team.
So I think these stats are the only ones that actually matter for Paravision right now, and, you know, find out who's really good.
Fast play and a dive into the B site. That's going to cost Yellow. Belchanok out here trying to get a trade. Does so onto Mercury. And then they pause for a second, looking for the next one. G's the follow-up. And they're going to pull apart what was this bit of a stack that TYLOO hoped to get going. So clean rifle work. We get another triple kill, this time out of Noda. And so Paravision converting the pistol. You know, taking a look at the rankings, what's fun, in fact, is, you know, TYLOO also sit outside of the top 20 in the HLTV World Rankings. So Paravision, who had come here looking for top 20 oppositions, got to play versus 2 of the only 3 teams in the top 20, eliminated both, and now they're back to just dealing with teams outside of it. Like, this is the comfort zone in terms of opponents for Paravision.
Yeah, and so they're one of the teams, like we talk about the power-up from stage 1, they're one of the teams where I see the most power-up. Like, you know, you could say it applies to everyone, but we'll have to see. Some teams more untested than others. Like FlyQuest passed on the eye test entirely, but they really weren't tested that hard.
Right.
So, you know, FaZe, they were tested very hard by like not great teams, and then they barely survived. So it's hard to get that read. Paravision, on the other hand, hard grind, passed all the tests, eliminated the best teams in the stage, and like the last map was, I feel like, evidence enough. Just that map alone showed how much potential they have at this event. So unfortunate draw here for TYLOO. Will be tough.
Ooh. G's going to open up 5v4 in the first gun round. Nice. Boys with the hold on Palace, and Belchanok gets dropped. AW emerging, just working with the MAC-10, and luckily here there are layers. This is a good round for G, showing us there's going to be some op presence for James to have to handle. First gun round comes out from TYLOO, and we get that G triple frag.
Remember you talking yesterday about op IGLs and how there were none besides James, and here's G on the other side.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
We're only talking about top 20 teams, Connor.
Must have been. Yeah, James was the last bastion, I thought.
But, you know, I think, do you think, how many What percentage of people do you think have Tailoo in like an 0-3 position in the stage?
That's
It feels like it'd be kind of low, right? Like not making it through, probably high. That's what I'm talking about, G.
I think maybe watching the other Chinese teams fall out 0-3, right? It's like the two other Chinese representatives both dropped 0-3, so I think there's a little bias skewing that we're all kind of thinking that the China hype of Austin has kind of come to an end. But, you know, Tailoo, come on now. These guys have picked up a trophy this year.
It's the best Tailoo.
It was Jam Young who got his first MVP, right?
It's the best version of Aurora. It's the best Tailoo. The best Paravision we've ever seen.
I had
It's
never
the best
seen
FlyQuest
before.
we've ever seen.
True.
That was the joke, Connor.
Oh. It's no time for jokes, Launders. Tailoo.
This is the major.
This is what they all fight for. Not much of a fight on this one.
It could be if they're not careful. Uh-oh, now upstairs. Careful, Mercury. Just don't give one back. Oh,
There it is.
double ramp setup should be good.
Yeah, attacker coming in, deals with Shello.
Oh, no.
Tech9 still finds a victim. This is a 2 versus 4, 1 kill deep, but AW, hands on an AK
Go
now,
for the
took
wall
a ton
bang.
of damage.
Do it.
Oh, he's got him. Clips the leg out, 10 seconds to the clock. Jame will get blindsided, and we go from a triple kill out of G to majority alive Tailoo, making the most of that one.
G's the only reason it doesn't get scary, so well done. Excellent shots. Love what we see. And, like, you know, you might know G from the ice cream memes and things like that, but if you watch Tailoo, like, this is the best version of Tailoo because G, you know, because him as an opper, him as a person, as brings so much energy and X factor to this roster, is just genuinely good. And for a long time, Tailoo were the biggest team in China, and therefore the biggest team in Asia. But they were always underperforming relative to other rosters, or never had the 5 that would make them the best. Well, here they are in stage 2. Trying to carry the flag, honestly.
I mean, Legacy certainly stole the show in Austin, but there was talk of the town when we had, you know, Mongols doing what they did, getting to where no Asian team has ever gone before,
Yeah.
and then riding their momentum, right? Riding their coattails in the sense that Mongols had been establishing more places at the major for Asian teams was the 2 successful stories of Tailoo and Linvision.
Good point.
It was FlyQuest, an Australian Counter-Strike that we thought was going to go the way of the dodo bird. Instead, now here we are playing in Budapest. Like you said, FlyQuest looked better than ever. Tailoo. This is their best version. Somebody's got to make up for the shortcomings of the 2-0-3 teams in stage 1.
Were Dodos Australian as well?
I don't know.
Just
I
a turn of
kinda
phrase?
shot for it. Yeah, I shot
thought they were
for it.
Canadian.
That, no way. Too exotic.
Nothing that dumb in Canada.
I don't know. I've been to Brampton. That's a place?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just double checking. Mozia. You're careful now. You've got pistols stacking up for that challenge, but that's fine. He's got Jam Young to work with. And Belchinok, the last to falter. So this is Tailoo looking great. Triple kill from G. 4 players alive, 3 in the previous, 4 now this time. Like, this CT side is going to have real momentum moving out of this.
Yeah, absolutely love to see it. Good control, and it's a tall test, as you pointed out. Like, the M80 win over Paravision's the only time that they've really got rocked. They were on such a long streak. It's a great map for them to go to, but if Tailoo were going to leave this open, they know. I mean, there were no great maps to go to that Paravision were going to be scared, and I actually respect that Ancient was avoided because Paravision's Ancient was like pretty sick. So they had to have a plan today. They knew it was going to be Mirage, and it looks like they're ready.
Launders, Jame just missed a grenade.
No. He didn't miss the grenade. You just don't understand.
Jame missed the grenade.
You don't know the couch molly?
The sun may not come out tomorrow. Ooh, easy challenge. Attacker puts a quick end to Shello. Ooh, unfortunately still sitting now 2 and 6, but they spot Jam Young, or at least they soften him up, and that's fine by him. Repositions off the teammate's cover. TYLOO as a pack, as a unit, looked really good so far this game, and that pressure to get the exit into A site continues. Belchanok still with nothing, except that bomb up in Palace, and James trying to help him, but he can offer nothing here whatsoever. TYLOO comfortably now taking over this game. 4 rounds in a row since the gun round, since G's 3K, have not looked back.
This is everything I thought 3D Max were going to be.
Okay, sure. I know exactly what you mean.
This is such good play out of TYLOO. I mean, the aim looks so good. Jam Young's second kill there off the corner of default. Getting the first kill versus the execs. The rifling looks excellent, and again, they're going up against a full confidence. Like, Paravision must feel amazing after last week, better than anybody else. So they had their plate full here at TYLOO, and they're doing an excellent job.
Ooh, but careful now. Nota, Tech 9 kill. An attacker trying to get Vision down in Con's. Got to be careful because there's that double up inside of the ramp that could also push. That Palace smoke fades, I feel like Paravision are going to try to go for one of those pounces. We've talked about how all of a sudden they kind of really cram themselves into a bomb site. The explosiveness of their 3, 4, 5-player all-ins. Here it comes. Wide swing and a missed op shot. That's a door left ajar. And G, worried about the jump ups, gonna have to give this over. Doesn't come out wide enough to stop it, so still, retake potential for TYLOO, working with 2 kits, working with ticket control, but how do you get in when no murder hole control is yours? This is gonna be 4 players off ticket.
They've got Jam Young smoke. This is the only way that they can draw some T's out if they get into the site, but they need like 1 trade. This one's, yeah, under balcony. They need to set their eyes forward on this, get scaling.
It's a Deagle shot first. Attacker, not too worried about that one. Starts to push the issue, finds a kill, and then sets up Mozia. James is waiting, AK in hand, has to be cautious of that off cover that starts to come through. Wallbang's not there, the bodies line up, the defuse is stopped. That is Nota finding it barely, and then as they stick another one, do they have it? Down to the wire. Oh, and it pops. It's going to cost both of TYLOO's bodies. A retake attempt, 4 strong out from Ticket, but they miss it by less than a second.
So close because of that Tech 9 kill. Just as we're praising TYLOO, Paravision find a way in. And that's actually a really well called round, even though it is just the Tech 9s. But the first frag going down, full control of the A site. No one on Cat to stop the plant or to come up connector. They made it feel like they had a full rifle round the way that they attacked this. Oh, okay. He thought he won. I got confused.
Yeah.
He had me in the first half.
It's a roller coaster of emotion. We're all here riding it with you, brother. Well, actually, I'm just watching. He's riding the roller coaster.
Yeah. We're commentating the roller coaster ride.
You at home are watching. Now Paravision trying to send TYLOO for a loop. Looking to double down on that last one, and they get away with a bit of mid-presence here for Nota. AW setting up nades as that 3-player push comes out from the apartments. Cielo looking for the entry as they lose their Cat player. This allows for Mozia to just turn attention back, and Mercury quick on the scene. Easy hold from the Catwalk player. And this one out of Paravision just doesn't even get a chance to hit the ground. AW with a big recovery, knows there's still 2 players in sight, and he's trying to zone them. He's now cut through 2 of the 3. Rotate in the form of G, op back in market, and TYLOO are going to give space to AW.
Yeah, they're going to let him plan. He's got low HP. They just want him to bleed down the clock, and first peek comes out. Attacker takes care of things, but AW shows us some good aim, and he has thrown us some good moments. But still, the hold, it's beautiful.
Yes, sir.
And they're getting the first kill on these rushes. That's such a big thing versus Paravision because we know that when they go for an attack, they don't pause. They literally follow through all the way through into the site. We saw that so many times on Ancient. We saw them do this on Dust 2 as well. And TYLOO just responding to the pressure so well.
It's a good look from Paravision's closer. That part of the play online, but need a bit more from their entry. Back to the drawing board goes Paravision. Back to the pistols go Paravision. But they've already won a round with a bye like this, so we'll stay on the edge of our seats. As should TYLOO.
Sounds like something crazy happened outside.
G holds. Tech9 gets closer. James is now dangerously tucked into this, and there's nobody else to support this G-op on B. I can see a world where they get up catwalk and take over that B site. We'll see how James' attack comes through. He gets smoked off, and there's no pressure being applied here whatsoever from Mercury. There's nobody inside of the mid window. G now concerned about catwalk. How much of a...
It's a good spot for, like, Jamyoung supporting him really well right here, as he keeps an eye on the window. That's the only thing that he has to watch, and G can really focus forward. And this smoke, he offhands it, but he's in a solid spot now.
Another connector smoke to make sure they all get around that corner. Oh, Jamyoung holds it through the windowsill, loses the upper back sight, and there's AW's Tech9 to come through. Still enough to work with here for Paravision. At the very least, it's a bomb plant. TYLOO go 3 strong, back through the market. Immediate pressure out through the windowsill. Shello gets there. And so, as he re-peaks in a moment, who's his next victim? Fire at his feet, misses a chance to strike down Mozia, but an M4 picked up. It's an AW clutch attempt again. Forced to switch to the sidearm, the swing comes through. How many times will he get close? How many times will TYLOO take him out of it?
Yeah, I mean, that's such a good play at the end, but overall, TYLOO, it's another solid round. I love the way that they boost up towards B. In this spot, they could sense the danger, even though they couldn't see it, and Jamyoung got in an excellent position, not only to look through the window to cut off the cap players, but you incidentally also see anybody coming from B apps. And, barring G getting headshot by a deagle from long range, like, they lock that down entirely. We're looking at TYLOO 6-3 versus Paravision in a very, very good spot. I'm not surprised to see Paravision get hard to get kills.
Sure.
I'm just surprised to see TYLOO get the first kill, lock down the rifle rounds, give up an eco, and still be in the lead this much.
Right. Rotating correctly, there's not been a real element of hesitation out of them. I think the one mistake would have been losing to the pistols because nobody had that mid control to try to split the retake, and even that retake comes down to less than a second with 2 players alive.
Yeah, that's right.
So, certainly close. Barring that, it's just a pistol round. So I'm sure TYLOO are thinking they are clearly in the driver's seat of this game. But we've seen Paravision dig very deep versus their best opponents so far in Budapest. We know James going to be bringing ideas to the table until the very end. And if I'm not mistaken, we haven't really seen Paravision kind of blown out of the water yet at the Major. No.
Yeah, that's a good point, eh?
I mean, their 2
Always
map
close.
losses was
8
11 rounds, 9 rounds.
This'll work. Very nicely done.
Dude, dominant. Even in a gun round, right? Now you're talking about a TYLOO that's got confidence clearly in the play.
They were flashed as well, but I don't think they threw one. That might have been a T-flash at the same time. I'm not sure. That was beautiful.
Great recovery kill from Nota.
Man, Paravision are, minute 10, and they're down to no smokes in this situation. It's going to be hard with them inside of mid-control to scale towards window. Mozia is going to have a huge angle on them if they decide to walk out. They might not be in a position to attack this unless they could try to contact across, but no connector smoke. G's going to have open vision. Let's see if he gets distracted. They have great spots to hold this, I mean. Yeah.
Back turned, yeah. Belchanok makes a critical error. Yeah, they write that off. Quick little ladder jump from Mozia as he pounces. It's a jump scare moment for Paravision. Clearly unprepared for both sides of that. You're just going for a jump scramble over. AW to another clutch attempt, has bomb possession.
He'll win one of these eventually, right?
You'd think, but I mean, the odds always stacked so high in the other team's favor. Fake plants once. Jamyoung, caught with a grenade in hand, just trying to peel away from the site, buying time for the rotates over, and he saw the player down cat. He's gonna go for this bomb plant. G is not coming in immediately through market, and AW, this one's looking a little more likely. Gets the duel to attacker, just can't manage. All of these attempts have looked good, but it's just so many players against him.
They just need a bit more chip damage. Yeah, one extra player down, and maybe he can actually, he's having a game where he can put up a huge round. We know it could come, and him scaring them is good, but look at this round. It's like Paravision, it's fine for them to try to do something a little different when they're low on grenades and they have mid-control to themselves, but without that smoke, obviously, it was such a tough spot, and you look at TYLOO's setup, it's beautiful. Like, they have ladder room, it's perfect to hold when everyone's walking around. They have the op in the right line. They have Palace being watched in sandwich so that G can have that line in the first place. No notes for Tailoo in some of these setups.
You know, awkwardly as well, we talk about the entry failures right now of Paravision. This is also just James' worst game at the Major, right? He's been that kind of stable element to the Paravision struggles, even in their previous losses. He actually doesn't have a single red rating at this event. And so that could either lead you to believe that the recovery is going to happen because it so consistently has, or Paravision are really playing without a critical element of their system. That op is offline. It's also the third player into this A commitment, sending riflers in front. They're going to pounce on the connector players. G's got a good shot recovering. A second one. His two teammates beyond him go down, but he brings that op alive inside of the A site. And considering a further peek, James is not too far off still, with other teammates to work off of, including another bit of mid-round impact here from AW. Noda covers. Now 3v1. This looks like Paravision have broken down the doors at the A site. G, the only player to put up any kind of a fight this round for Tailoo. And they've got Mozia in a tough position. He's gonna find that immediate kill to AW. He's still working with 100 health as well.
He doesn't think it's a double A ramp setup.
Even though bombs planted for it, very nervous about the other side of the bomb site. We'll see if he just kind of lets that side of the brain go and just focus over towards where the one. Now he spotted both. They give him that bit of an edge, but they come out with conviction and leave it to Jame and Co. to wait till late in this half to squeeze out a couple more rounds.
Some nice kills there. It's a big distraction as they decide to pull out of the A ramp really quickly. So it looks like Tailoo fell for this one a little bit, overinvested in middle early on, left a small timing open, and it's a simple flash over the stairs that allows for the first kill to take place. G's answer back was really impressive, but it was already too late by then, it clearly looks like. Jam Young making a couple of suspect moves in these last couple of rounds, swinging out from CT. We see that clutch and retake is winnable, but he wanted to end that early, and that was obviously the wrong idea. Still, a position like this is already so impressive. 7 rounds for Tailoo. Paravision are just kind of scrape back into the game.
That's what they do, though. It's what they did to Legacy to eliminate them from the Major. I think if you're Tailoo and you've been keeping an eye on Paravision, knowing this is kind of your first matchup, there's no way they aren't aware of that threat of Paravision's game. Jame at one point or another is going to get his hands on you. It's all about kind of breaking his grip. Tailoo opt to make the aggressive start into the apartments they'll find, and a free angle now for G to just sit this op on. But he was critical in, almost saving the day on A site last round, so we're gonna need to step up from the other players on A for Tailoo if that's where this round ends again.
I love that he took this angle because they haven't really been pressuring B when they don't use it right away. So he can just probably sit here the entire round. Unless they come up cat solo, he's gonna get an early warning shot in, or it's gonna be an A play versus 4 teammates.
Pops it but doesn't watch it. Goes back and, I mean, you could have kept eyes on that. You would have found them exposed. Cello dying out inside of Sandwich, but still finds attacker from beyond the grave. Good amount of damage done here to the others on Paravision, but no contest on the bomb plant. And G can't find that angle as he now gets smoked from connector. They're gonna go and emphasize Tetris again. His double up, and not to mention a third over towards the ramp. How much free room do they give him? G gonna be posted, finds Jame. You take down a very clutch element of this post plant, and this op's gonna try to work up close. Missed no scope, but a swap over to the AK. AW doesn't help, and then Jam Young finds the angle wide, so a bit of disjointedness there from the low health players of Paravision, and we get a 2v3 retake here for Tailoo to keep Paravision at bay. Well, if Paravision had hoped to roll with momentum like they did versus Fnatic, all of a sudden, we've got a game on our hands. TYLOO are not going to be one of those victims of a day one, seemingly.
Yeah, definitely. This is so impressive as a start. AW has 130 ADR so far after the end of the first half, and yet they're still getting crushed. So it's kind of unreal. Like, how many, and you know, a lot of his kills ended up being sort of like inconsequential because they lost the round, but he still knocked off so much value off of TYLOO, and they still ended up winning so many rounds. That last one was kind of a big indictment on Paravision and James' performance. He hasn't had a good start. He made a weird mistake in that last moment, and showed us why G's actually really got good control.
G riding the hype as well. You're so right about that. You know, he kind of brings it to the server for the team. Just such a ball of energy. AW is going to keep racking up that ADR, and Noda's got an easy frag. Attacker's head pops up before he tries to push the smoke.
It's going to feel like a B play for sure, though.
But remember the Paravision win streak on this map. You know, no stranger surely to a rough go of it on the T side.
That bomb's going to come back to A, right?
They're figuring it out. Give them a second. TYLOO footing inside of the B site. You got all of Paravision here. Why would they ever think bomb is still in T spawn, Launders? Why would they ever think that?
I don't know.
In fact, why would it ever happen?
Why would it ever happen? And okay,
No,
I still think you got to go back to A though. G, they can start to go towards cat, right? If they're not worried about it, and then they can start playing towards post plant. Okay.
God, no way. Just
no way.
Jamyoung. Just kill them all. P250 execution on the push through door. James now realizing bombs on the other side. Has to deal with this player first, or else he's not allowed to leave. And this poor guy has been outplayed. G sits on the other side of the map for the entire round. And honestly, if Jamyoung doesn't get those two fadeaway P250 kills, it's a 3v2 retake inbound to the A site. Instead, we've got TYLOO playing Jame games against him.
That was nice out of Jamyoung, man. Just sliding across the screen on cat with that perfect crosshair placement as we're used to seeing. And a lot of frustration here for Paravision, of course. Kind of losing in two different ways on this round, especially after the start. 5v3. And a fake that it looked like TYLOO didn't even believe in because they had lost so many players.
Yeah, 100%.
But it was a double fake, right? It was the A site players were meant to go out, maybe get a kill, maybe delay for time, sneak out on a default and wait. So wholesome. And that's flipped. Okay, yeah.
Ooh, we've seen some clean comebacks from Paravision so far at the Major, but this one is a massive ask.
Especially just because how good TYLOO look and how much more it feels like they have to offer. But T-side's a new side.
Here we go. And again, just to reiterate, this is the first time James has not been a component of Paravision and their fight.
And they are still 10-1 on Mirage.
For better or for worse. Mozia coming barreling through.
Uh-oh.
Don't you start dying to USPs now. It's only 2 MAC-10s here for Mercury and Attacker. What's wild is this is a Paravision without Kevlar even, so MAC-10 should be fine. That scout damage is only 11. Another drop down out through the window. Cat player wants to leave. Nota comes through with the Deagle headshot, and they've got TYLOO on their toes. Cat player escaped. James takes a bunch of damage trying to keep that scout output up. Mercury locking this in towards the marketplace. It's going to boil down to AW getting in, and whether or not he can strike while there's a distraction on the other side. They use their CT smoke just to try and create some ambiguity. Do players climb out? Do TYLOO lose track of this? Paravision gonna try to crush out through the marketplace. Mercury takes his time, then takes control of inside of it, and James is now the last player left. Great recovery here for TYLOO. If only they had Kevlar, there would have been more of a fight, but I don't think Paravision ever think they're gonna get that close.
No, definitely not. I thought AW's in that, he's having the kind of game and in the perfect spot to peak last as they come in for the retake, but the post-plant positions with the smokes going down, like they really stayed calm. They didn't get too nervous about it. They didn't overthink the situation. They really played their advantages well right there. So nice recovery, as you say, here from TYLOO. Another good round, one of many in this Mirage match.
Either the Paravision recovery starts now, or TYLOO are going to give us a map to talk about in their
confidence on
kickoff
Mirage is
best
going
of
to be
one.
so shaken as well.
Yes.
This is such a big point of strength for this team.
their opening kill. Jame is down in the dumpster.
Oh!
4 and 12 is
No
Jame at the
way.
moment. 3 individual moments come out for Tailoo, and then AW only able to catch 1.
That's beast mode out of Tailoo. What are those entries?
Shello has looked like a shell of himself. He'll find Jam Young, sure, but still 3 more players to get through. And he wins the second duel, taking minimal damage, right? 2 frags, 27 damage back his way. This is a winnable 1 versus 2 as far as he is concerned. At the moment, no kit though. And that's going to play against him. He knows this AK is important, and still there are elements of Jame in this team, of course. Money is king, and he's going to be forced to save this one as Tailoo go up to the 11-4 lead.
It's quite literally what happened with the Fnatic game as well. Like, right at this moment, as soon as guns get on board after losing the pistol, it's in a massive destruction of this team. Like, they lost every 50-50 fight, standard round, as they ran this default. The aim looked incredible. Jumped up into the window with a player watching, instant headshot. Into connector, instant headshot. Their economy's not been in a worse spot. We got no timeouts now for Paravision. G referenced in the interview that, you know, when they get close to winning, that's when they start to seize up a little bit. They get nervous about trying to close. That's something that, I mean, you're never going to feel more pressure than the major, so this is going to be the biggest test for them. But man, all you've got to tell your team is, you know, keep doing what you're doing. Like, he's got some soldiers right now. You know, G could call anything if he just does it full-throated, and they're going to be able to deliver for him.
Just feels like they haven't done anything wrong yet, right? No glaring issues for Tailoo.
Just that one Tech-9 loss.
Right. And even then, so close of a round.
Yeah.
You were a half-second off of the retake, and this would just already be a 12-3 game. So Paravision find 1 lifeline throughout this map so far. Half their rounds by way of pistol and conversion in the first. Talk about domination coming out from Tailoo.
Of all the teams to not be warmed up after stage 1, this.
Right? Yeah. You telling me Fnatic smoked 3D Max?
Yeah.
But Paravision get 4 rounds versus Tailoo.
Imagine that.
Well, what's scary as well, though, is like, you know, we say that this is a team that comes in not warmed up. Once more, it's the first time Jame has truly fallen apart in Budapest. And there's no denying he kind of serves as that structural beam for Paravision.
I mean, he must have made some kind of blood sacrifice to win that legacy game.
Must have been. It's great riflers around him, but he is the bones of this roster. A lot of responsibility on the opping and the calling. And bomb goes down for Tailoo in a 5 versus 5. Paravision have to make a choice here. What's better, to go for the save or to chance this retake?
He's got a flash. We've got to watch for this one. Oh,
there it
Mercury
goes.
as well.
Deep into ticket. It's going to blind 2, but Beltranok up in front gets an upgrade for his efforts and then instantly dies out to G. Trade's good for AW. He gets popped. We go back and forth, and then the double out from Jam Young.
Oh!
3 alive still. That's 5v5 as bomb goes down, and majority of Tailoo still standing. A retake that gets chucked in the bin.
Tailoo are hot.
One player playing counter flash kept that retake hope alive. AW just getting traded out so effectively. I think that's the beauty of Tailoo right now. Anytime somebody's been in a sticky spot, there's a bailout process put in place. Team play, 5 stars. Tailoo, 8 match points.
Great calling, G, and leading from the front. Fragging, a huge impact. Both halves, post plants, making this as bad as possible. And really showing up Jame in his own game. Not what we expected coming into today. One more good idea, and it's lights out for Paravision.
Don't think we've seen Jame with an op in his hand on the CT side. The economy just hasn't afforded for it. It's going to be a short-lived CT attempt at a Paravision. AW has been trying to be the hero, but he'll be burned out by attacker. And all of TYLOO ready to just jump out onto the B site. Jame connects, Shello finds one. And this defense is hanging on, but Jame actually rotates over to the molly and dies. Good on Shello to get that multi-frag. Good on Paravision to give us at least one more round to talk about.
Yeah, so many to work with, but here's a good start, at least on this B play. Re-peeking into the molly, and I thought, oh my god, this site's going to fall apart too, but first kill at the FAMAS, enough players there to rotate. You saw Jame had a good read for like when that attack was going to take place, called everyone over, and they all got good spots. Fine. 1 foot in front of the other. And only because it's their best map by far that we'll see what happens.
Just finally a good instance of tethering between the rifles of Paravision. Jame may not have had an op, but he does come through with a kill. Remember the score, it was 4 and 14, but maybe there's not a lot of rounds still left. Insta pressure out through middle, 2 bodies go down. Paravision, a 3v5 demanded of them. G trying to catch the cat player, instead loses his teammate through connector, but that's fine. Trade looks towards the A site. AW trying to again be the difference. Critically missed op shot out of Jame, and that is uncharacteristic. This will be a notable result because Jame was nowhere to be found for Paravision. A team that scraped out wins to progress into stage 2, that were riding the hype and had the community convinced that they could still try to take this on. Jame winning people back over, but it is TYLOO in the face of a disappointing major for China who step it up to a whole new degree. From G's 3K in the first gun round to a dominant CT half. Now this is the TYLOO that we would all hope for on arrival in Budapest.
Well, already a couple of upset. This one's got to be upset of the day. This is really great from TYLOO. They just never had any chance of losing, it feels like, towards the end. It's kind of unbelievable. And just like that, they go from such a high in the first week to a lot of disputes here. Very uncomfortable about